Okay, so now for our other featured reader today, Amalie Rush Hill. And I've known Amalie for a few years now. I first met her when she participated in the Poets Corner at Art in the Vineyard in 2017. And we've participated in several events together since then. If you might remember right here, back in June of last year, when she did a book launch event for Moments Before Midnight, the anthology of Oregon poets, which she edited and which she and her husband Bob Hill published. I had 3 of my own poems published in that anthology, which dealt with our current times and how Oregon poets relate to them. And Bob Hill Publishing has a sequel coming out later this year, I believe. Soon? August, okay. I'll let Amalie give you the details on that. Of course, I asked her to provide me with a bio, and she sent me this. Amalie Rush Hill is the author of Ambulasia science fiction series, Ambulasia Into the Light, Discontinuity, The Shoals of Time, and Zator. She also writes short stories and essays too. Her first book of poetry is The House on Prune Alley, and Amalie has been an editor for both Moments Before Midnight, released in 2018, and Terra Incognita, the second poetry anthology from Bob Hill Publishing, soon to be released. 3 of her poems are included in each book. Amalie is a member of OPA, the Oregon Poetry Association, for those of you who may not know. The Mid-Valley Poetry Association, that's a different group? Okay. Part of OPA. So OPA, the Mid-Valley Poetry Association. Okay. And is a regular participant at the Salem Poetry Project and the Salem Book Ben's Last Friday Poetry Group. Please welcome Amalie Rush Hill.
Hello. Hi. Thank you, Stephen and Charles. I'm delighted to be back. I'm not going to talk a lot about my poetry. I'm just going to read. The first poem that I am reading is one of the poems that will be in Terra Incognita. It should be out the end of August. Our first book event for that will be at the Salem Book Bid. Last Friday, I think it's the 30th of August. It's currently in progress. So I can't give you a specific date of when it will be out, but sometime in August, the end of the summer.
How many authors are in it?
42. The first one was 23, so this one's a little bit heftier.
Could you put the date and time and everything on the Oregon Poetry Association's website?
Yes.
On the event calendar?
Yes, yes.
Super, thanks.
Yes, when I know.
Yes, it'd be great, thank you.
I would be delighted. Okay, so the first one, and the poems in the book cover a range of subjects. This is one of them. Stone pillow. My pillow is cement. I see the world from the ground level, like an ant or a spider. My life is on display to all passers-by. I have no privacy, except that you can't see me. I am invisible and reviled. You are ashamed of me, so you don't look upon my plight. I'm no different than you. I'm a person with a past, maybe a future, but I have no present. I'm a derelict, a tossed away thing sitting on the sidewalk, in your way as you walk by. My pillow is the sidewalk. My life is in rags. My life is in shreds. Gathered together in a shopping cart or a backpack. The sidewalk is my bed. It is cold in the winter and hot in the summer. I have no means. I have no food and no clothing except cast-offs. You may give me $1 to get a hamburger, but you think I'm on drugs, that I'm to blame for my plight, that I fell into poverty because I was remiss in my job, in my pursuit of success. I failed to become rich and powerful, but I'm just like you. Only my pillow is cement. I live in the shadows. I have nothing that can dull my aches and pains, my fears, my nightmares, because my life has become a nightmare. I'm no different from you. What put me here was an iota of time and place, an inch between this and that, perhaps a choice that changed my life. My pillow is stone, and my bed is made from the rocks of the road. We live in the country, and I walk up and down our dead-end road. It's a half a mile down and a half a mile back up. So I walk a couple of miles most days. So I write a lot about what I see, and sometimes about the very road itself. Oh, a possum. On Monday, you were lying dead on the road in disarray, yet recognizable. On Tuesday, when I drove down the road, a turkey vulture was sitting atop your carcass, most likely doing what turkey vultures do. On Wednesday, as I walked by, you were little more than scattered bones, and today, only your scaly tail, a bit of fur, and a delicate, unbroken forearm with an intact paw remained. A vehicle probably killed you, knocked your body off to the edge of the road. Did you suffer? Or was it fast and painless? Did you try to escape, or was it unavoidable? You were never cute with your mouth full of sharp teeth and your rat tail. But as I observed your body disintegrating, it was fascinating to see what happened to you. We are all held to life by such tenuous threads. I'm sorry for your sudden and violent demise, but in death, you fed a vulture, and no doubt countless insects. So what we experience and what we have concluded is the antithesis of living. Death is but another part of ongoing and renewing life. Why can't it be both ways? It has an epigraph from physicist Richard Feynman. I think I can safely say that nobody understands quantum mechanics. Recently, there have been arguments and statements made on social media about religion or lack thereof. Some say you have to believe the same way they do or you're damned. Others say if you believe in God, you are foolish and ignorant. Some say that science is antithetical to religious beliefs, and others say that if you don't believe in God, you are foolish and ignorant. In physics, quanta can be both particles and waves, and can exist in two places at the same time. And I say that if this is true at the subatomic level, then why not across the entire spectrum of existence? Why can't I believe in more than myself and still in the marvels of science? Why is it so hard to admit there are things we may never understand? We'll never know everything. What drives us is mystery, curiosity, and the need to discover. And just maybe, there are two or more worldviews because they are necessary. Maybe we need to believe in science and the idea of something bigger than we are to understand the universe. That we have to accept our limits and the unknown that surrounds and enfolds us. Maybe all we have to do is take it all on faith. Chance meeting. It was only a chance meeting. No, much less than that, for not a word was spoken. It was only two strangers passing each other on the sidewalk. She smiled, he smiled. It was fleeting, not flirting. It was a subliminal exchange of energy or vibration. There was no physical contact, not a touch, not even the brush of sleeves one against another. Just a look, a glance, an intense emotional trade a scintilla of an interlude, some odd little transference of information, of smoke and vapor, indicating something. They pass one another, smile, and keep on walking. But life has shifted. Two souls have shared some mystical DNA, produced the offspring of a new thought or a new way of being. Two people snagged on each other's attention by merely passing by. How often do we fail to notice when this happens? I have a feeling that we do it all the time. It's not quite summer, but it's starting to feel like it, so I am going to read my summer poem. Summer. Sing a song of summer, cicadas softly whirring, pulsing, purring, songs of summer. Sunburned children splashing diamond-dappled water, sudden showers, sunshine shimmers, warm and close, singing, living, summer, stomping, swirling, surging, smiling, slowly singing, summer. Sing a song of summer, sipping nectar sweet, softly sighing, summer, swaying, shushing, leaves, paper thin and whisper dry. Cicadas sawing, trilling, chirping, breaking through the restless air, then stillness as the breezes cease. A spider's web newly spun, festooned on frilly blossoms full of sweetly scented fragrance, blooming, buzzing, breathing life, full and young and strong and fresh. Sing a song of summer, sticky, sweet and salty, heat and light encircling, never-ending, swimming in the soup of life. Summer nights, close and thick, midnight skies of deepest blue and black for just a blink, cascading velvet loosely draped and pinned in place by gem-white stars, whose shine is brief and infinitely hot, out to where the seasons change. Sing a song of summer, night skies sparkling, winking hot and bright, cicadas strumming in the twilight. Listen to the singing.
That's really good.
Before there was light, after the beginning, before there was light, what was that? Was it the universe or only potential? It took millions of years before photons were able to break through the neutral ions to produce illumination before let there be light. And then as atoms coalesced and gathered, they became stars spreading brilliance across the universe, singing of beginnings and endings, of life eternal beyond the veil of darkness and death, beyond the perception of light, before there were eyes to see, light giving birth to life. Before there was light, there was energy, there was matter, there was a future filled with stars. Who saves the world? The universe exploded into the void, scattering energy, coalescing particles into atoms, into matter, into living potential, revolving into stars and planets, evolving into microscopic life. It was hurled forth by what some call God or physics. A splendid creation varied, and on this small and mostly insignificant orb there has arisen abundant life. The planet's core, its heart, pulses with fire, heating the mantle. Its bones, the uplifted mountains, sing with joy against the wind of ages. But it has been overtaken by a strange and invasive species, possibly alien to the world, whose sole purpose seems inclined to obliterate everything unlike itself. And among this species are those who would eliminate others of its own kind, some of whom believe the planet will be saved by war, by muscle and might. But if it is to be truly saved and made whole, it will be by those who care, by poets and dreamers.
Yeah.
So you notice a little bit of physics in some of my work. I've been reading about quantum physics. Makes my brain hurt. This one's a little different. Without you. I never imagined living in a world without you. Everyone dies, I know that, but when you passed from your physical existence, it left an empty hole that can never be filled by anyone else. I know that love and friendship endures beyond time and space into that realm where we shall all return and forevermore remain, dwelling in the blooming shade of trees on the banks of a gentle stream, or as radiant beams of light dancing to the ethereal music of infinitude. The dark. Dark beyond dark, forever and ever, the face of the night of the universe that has more dark matter than light. In the dark, seeds germinate, cells grow and expand. We live in the midst of darkness. Our planet travels through space in the dark, in the void, in the miracle of life, in the womb of life. Underground in the dark is where roots seek out nourishment. The dark is where we go when we sleep, when we dream. The dark is where inspiration lives and dwells, where worlds are born, where all life emanates out of and into. The soft, sweet darkness, the place where our bodies build life from the inside out, where we retreat when we think. We come from darkness and return to it, not a cold or cruel place, but rather the nest of potential, because we can see in the dark, in the gentle, embracing darkness of life, the cradle of everything from the emptiness before the Big Bang into the glory of stars and light. As all the while the dark is feeding and nurturing us, growing and holding us in tender arms of love, awaiting the time when we will open up to the light and then illuminate the darkness with our own vitality. We hold the dark within, but we shine outward like a beacon. The dark is where we and all things begin. It is the nursery of life from beginning to end. This one is obvious where it came from, but you hear a lot about writer's block. Don't believe it. Writer's block. I don't believe in writer's block, because it is in the quiet that we can best hear the soft words of the muse, the still voice of inspiration, the honeyed singing of beauty. Every field must lie fallow for a while to renew and energize for new growth. Allow your mind to rest so that it can hear the stirring of love and creativity within. Allow your heart to gather in the harvest of blessings of sleep and silence. Allow your soul to be nurtured by wonder, by awe, and the extraordinary abundance of life that surrounds you, and the limitless potential of wisdom and wonder that you breathe in every day. Now this one, I've been reading it a lot because I think we need to hear it. It's actually taken from the epilogue of my fourth book, Zator. I love that title. It's science fiction, and this epilogue has really nothing to do about the story, but it's the same universe. It refers to happenings that are in the book. I'll read it. The epilogue is much longer than this. This is a poem. What kind of species? Farcosi Antromimi Marcentin, planetary surveyor, studied the two planets that were nearly identical in so many ways. Planet A was vibrant and alive. Its apex, technologically advanced species, was peaceful and flourishing. It was a world of beauty and abundance. Planet B, with the same level of technically advanced civilization observed from artifacts and the ruins of vast cities, was a duplicate of Planet A in every way, except that it was utterly dead. Not a molecule of atmosphere remained. Only toxins and chemicals that saturated its poisoned soils and seabeds of absent liquid oceans were left to testify to the once well-educated inhabitants and to the level of their gross indifference. And so Farkozy Antromimi Marcentin attached an addendum to his report to the High Surveyor of the Galactic Council in the capital city of Wermanderoi, Ibra Sangado Prime, about his curious discovery. He wrote, "I cannot imagine how life on planet B was allowed to end this way. Nor can I conceive of any civilization where survival could be left to chance. What kind of species is it that allows its world to wither away without some kind of intervention in the destruction and subsequent death of their world? I can understand, to some degree, a war that might destroy a world, as unthinkable as that is, but letting it die from poison and with apparent disinterest is beyond my comprehension. Indeed, it is a question we must ask ourselves in the coming years as we allow our own planet to become befouled beyond the point of no return." Right now I'm going to add the 4 books, Ambalaja, Discontinuity, The Shoals of Time, and Zator. The last 2 are not in print. The Shoals of Time is on Amazon. But there is a strain through it about what happens when people don't take care of their worlds. And I started writing Ambalaja in, I think, 1999. So obviously it's been something that's been on my mind for a long time. And it's very important. Nothing more important. So this is my last one. Am I about right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
I read this one. I was a featured speaker in Milwaukee for their poetry series on Friday. And afterwards someone said that was a great feminist poem, but that's not what I think it is. You're welcome to decide. It's called Shall We Dance? It was Monday evening at the coast, and there were only a few people in the lounge listening to the piano player. We were with our husbands, and she asked me, "What do you think they'd do if we danced together?" "Who cares?" I said. So we danced, laughing, jumping up and down, swaying to the music. Some years later, I happened to see her at a social event. She was divorced and was with her new partner, a woman. It was the mid-1980s, and it then became clear to me why she had asked about dancing. Because it mattered so much to her. I've been married for a long time and have no interest in a romantic relationship with anyone else, but in the ensuing years, I have danced with other women to music and to the rhythm of feminine intimacy. We talk of personal things the way women do, about emotions, life, and philosophy. I have many heart sisters, women who share some aspect of life with me, women who know what it's like to be a woman, to be married or alone, to get along in a world where masculine and feminine energies are out of balance, where yang overpowers yin. I love men, but I also love my women friends. We understand each other on a cellular level, a blood level, blood sisters. On a clear, moonless night, when there is nothing to hamper the view of the sky, I open my arms to the universe. I call to the energy of the unknown, to the mystery, to the wonder. I open myself to the faraway suns, spreading my arms out to catch them, to embrace the fall of stars into my arms. I have heard men say that women are a mystery. I know that unknown can be frightening. Yes, we are one of life's mysteries. We give birth, we bleed, we suckle our babies, we imagine and comprehend, we dance and sing, we make love, we create. What's not to fear? We are pure energy and power. If we stand side by side in a line hundreds of miles long, hands clasped, we have the power to create change, to birth peace. The stars fall into my waiting arms, filling them with burning brilliance. But I live. I thrive. I glow. I am filled with elemental power and splendor. I become sparks of radiance as I dance to the ecstatic joy of metamorphosis. I am light blazing across the night sky.
Thank you so much, Amalie Rochelle. Let's give her another hand. I can see the feminism in that poem, but I see the inclusiveness too. And I would just like to say that birthing peace would be great. That would be nice. All right, let's take a break, about 5 minutes, and we'll come back for the open mic. I remind you again, I have coupons. They gave us coupons for $1 off on any drink in the coffee bar. So if you're going to buy something, see me, I'll give you a coupon.